Hey, Kris, how you doing?
Good, Kevin. How you doing?
I'm good. I just ate some mint chocolate chip ice cream, and the doctor says that the green number 22 food coloring makes me hyper, but I don't think so. I'm just really happy.
Well, obviously, there's a lot to talk about. Just, since the last time we talked about the Penguins, I think there was some major deadline of some sort with the NHL recently.
I think I need to lay down. No, I'm okay. I can do this. Let's go. All right, trade deadline. Trade deadline is over.
It is, and Pittsburgh didn't do anything really stupid, so I was happy about that.
No, that's true. We still have Flurry, by the way, in case you're all still wondering, but you probably already know that. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he obviously, if you watched the game tonight, you saw him play. So, yeah, he's still around. We'll see what happens, between the expansion draft and the end of the season, obviously.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's like when you know your relative is about to die and you just cherish each day with them as it passes. Knowing that it won't last forever.
It's pretty serious stuff, I agree.
It's basically on that level, I think.
Yeah, basically. Hockey is life. Nothing else matters.
Yes. Hockey.
Me like sports.
I'll kill you if you don't like my favorite team.
Yeah, no, that seems like
this is life and death.
I mean, hockey
players. Ref, you suck!
I mean, there's definitely some caveman mentality and tribalism to sports fandom, but
that's like 90% of it, I think.
Yeah, at least I feel like NHL fans, for the most part, aren't quite on par with like NFL fans on Sunday, where they're just like hammered at like 9 a.m. and then like, they like pass out in a river somewhere and die because they're too drunk. Like that actually happens sometimes.
Well, because sometimes with hockey, you actually like kind of want to watch the game, and being super drunk makes that hard.
Yeah.
I think football is just like, just let me know when there's a touchdown. When everyone makes noise, I'll make noise.
Right, yeah, it's interesting. Like, I feel like with hockey, it's just this constant like game of action where stuff's happening.
Right.
Obviously, there's stoppages, but they aren't like constant stoppages all the time. Yeah. And like the other thing too is like just about every seat in a hockey rink, you can basically see what's going on. Football, like it's just so hard to follow the play unless you're watching it on TV. So
yeah, even still, it's kind of hard. I mean, because then you can't see the full field. So just relying on whatever the camera shows you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Exactly.
So in other words, football is impossible to watch.
And
unless you can get on one of the teams and then you can be on the field, then that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, or you...
So don't waste your money on tickets. Just try to get on one of the teams.
Yeah. And
if you're a football fan.
Don't be a drunk ass. Or just do it responsibly and don't piss me off while doing it.
Yeah, don't piss Kris off.
Just anybody,
Don't do that. You would be in trouble.
Or else.
Okay, what are we talking about? I don't even know. Damn it, Kris.
The trade deadline,
I'm the one who goes off topic. We can't have you doing the same thing. We'll be all finished.
Yeah, well, I didn't have any mint chocolate chip ice cream, so
that's good.
It should be a little bit better.
Thank goodness.
Do we want to talk about the Penguins trades or what?
Sure. Who do we want to talk about? We could talk about Hainsey first. He's actually been playing.
Yeah, so with him, we traded a second-round pick. Hainsey's another one of however many left-handed defensemen we have. What do we have? Like 11 or 12 defensemen on the NHL roster. 11, it seems like 2 of them are right-handed and the others are all left-handed. Especially with, so Hainsey, obviously we added Mark Streit. Anyway, Hainsey, I think, it looked like his numbers in Carolina were relatively decent.
He seems just like one of those kind of journeyman defensemen.
Yeah, he's kind of like a left-handed Ben Lovejoy. Ideally, we'd get like a right-handed Ben Lovejoy.
So he gets hit with the puck a lot, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of just like, he seems like he's good in terms of shot suppression and provides no offense. That's basically what his profile is.
I got to watch him play a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you
he
could
did
tell.
log 20 minutes tonight, though, and...
Yeah, I thought that pairing looked good tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice any big problems with him. I wasn't focusing primarily on him. I probably could have, but...
No, exactly.
Looking up all the trade stuff and trying to research Flurry rules with the expansion draft.
Yeah.
And maybe learn something, but probably just confuse myself even more.
Yeah, I mean, giving up a second pick isn't, like, great, but it's not like... You know, you lost one pick. You didn't lose. It's not like one of those ratio drafts where, like, you lost your first, your second, like, a prospect, and you got some journeyman defenseman. Or just, you know,
Scuderi.
like you didn't like mortgage your future with this one. You gave up a second. You kind of plugged a hole, especially with all the defensemen that are injured right now.
Yeah,
I can kind of see how they had to do something.
It definitely makes you feel comfortable with the list that they have at this point. I mean, it's a long list of guys who can, you know, at least get the job done fairly well. I mean, I can go down the list now. Letang, Dumoulin, Schultz, Daly, Cole, Mata, Streit. Streit's another one we just added. Hainsey, Pouliot, Ruedel, and I don't know about Corrado.
Yeah, he'll probably be in the AHL.
And with all the names on the list, it's...
Yeah. No, so that was the other trade we made. We got... So basically, Toronto's issue was that I think at least they were possibly at 50 contracts and they need to like subtract somebody. So basically that trade to me was, okay, we got rid of Fair's contract. We gave them something of use in terms of Alexi's kind of like a fringe, you know, defenseman. You know, he's not been terrible at the NHL level,
kind
honestly.
Of a growing prospect.
Yeah, he just... from the games I noticed this year, he took like 10 penalties a game, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But, you know, other than that,
he kind of plays like a big game, but he's not big enough to do it well, I think.
Yeah.
He plays real physical and tries to agitate, but...
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then we gave up like a 4th rounder with all of that, and we got Frankie Corrado back. So to me, the main like draw with that is, hey, we finally got Eric Fair's $2 million off the books.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
We weren't really using him here. We got better options in like Kunakle, and Carter Rowney looks pretty solid.
Yeah, he's been playing really well, I think.
Yeah, so, and then, you know, Sundqvist could maybe come up at some point. Like, basically, you got options for your 4th line. You didn't need Eric Fair's $2 million to do it. You got younger, cheaper, even, like, faster options that better fit the system.
Yeah, that seemed pretty obvious that Fair is on his way out. I mean, when an older guy starts getting healthy scratched like that, it's there's pretty much only one way that's going to go. Is the newer guys are going to keep getting better, and the older guys are going to keep declining, and definitely see that with Fair. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say definitely see that with him, but...
Yeah, I think with him, like, you know, he'd probably be fine in, like, the Kings system or something. The other thing, too, was he was, like, coming off injury, because if you remember, like, when we got him, those... You know, he missed, like, the first month or two with some, like, major injury. So he's always kind of been recovering from that. Obviously, the year before, like, he looked pretty damn good with the Capitals. And all of a sudden, you know, he comes to us and he just looks like a shell of himself. You know, like I said, it might be the injuries. It might be Sullivan's faster system. It might just be a combination of all these things and him just declining in general.
He definitely doesn't really have speed. I mean, He can get up and on the ice all right, but I mean, he's not built for this team. That's for sure.
Yeah,
He was basically filling kind of a protector role for a while there, and
I noticed that too.
Because Sestito's gone, obviously. Oh no, Sestito, I miss you.
He's still got one of the highest shooting percentages in the NHL or something.
Oh shit. That's because of how much skill he has.
I don't shoot often, but when I do, I am score.
Was Sestito from Russia now?
Yeah, no, he's not.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, we got Frankie Corrado back, which, I mean, like I said, I think the Leafs just had to throw something our way, basically, to make this trade work. So with him, it just sounds like he's kind of like this defenseman who played on their bottom pair for a bit, and he's kind of like their version of Derek Pouliot, just kind of getting benched in the minors a lot.
Yeah.
Or, he's put in the minors a lot. So with him, he could, be a prospect here because obviously we desperately need right-handed defensemen at some point.
Well, you desperately want right-handed defensemen.
Well, I just, there's a theory to that, obviously, just statistically, and then even Babcock has always kind of preached that. But anyway, I think so. That's a possible long-term thing.
I'm gonna find statistics to prove that left-handed defensemen are better,
you should.
And I'm gonna cherry pick them so that you're wrong.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, just pick I don't know, trying to think who's a really good left-handed defenseman.
Well, I'll just pick a bunch of good left-handed defensemen for a random sample.
Yeah.
And then a couple bad right-handed defensemen, and then I'll prove it to you. I'll be like, check it out. If you pick random players and study their statistics, yeah.
Well,
That's
see, Falk is really good.
I'm a phony. I don't care.
And Ben Lovejoy is not that good, so I win.
Shit.
Nah, that's...
So, yeah, we got a lot of left-handed defensemen. Big deal, Kris. Boo-hoo. Why don't you write him an angry letter, leave a bad Yelp review on the Console Energy. Or is it still Console?
No, it's PPG Paints Arena now.
God, who cares? They need
it's hard to keep track.
They need a nickname like the Igloo, so we just ignore the sponsor and just have a cool name.
No, you're definitely right about that.
I don't know about the Igloo. That's not an igloo, so...
Just some penguins habitat thing.
Penguins habitat?
Whatever penguins live in.
I think they live in just, Antarctica in a bunch of fucking snow.
The shelter.
I don't know if they have a shelter. They don't really have, arms to build shelters with.
The pen dome. I don't know. Clearly, they obviously my
just
ideas
huddle
are terrible.
In a big group,
but
right?
Yeah, they just huddle together.
Someone
for
out
warmth
there
or something.
needs to research penguins and get back to us, please.
Yeah. That was kind of cool during the outdoor game when they had all the penguins on the ice and stuff, and then Iceberg just comes up to them.
I knew you were gonna like that. I was like, oh, Kris is probably just watching this and jerking off. Oh, Iceberg, and then penguins,
Yeah.
Oh!
I thought it was pretty special.
I thought it was pretty uninteresting, but interesting in the sense that people like you find it interesting, fascinating. Human nature. One of the world's great mysteries.
Oh, man. Yeah, no.
Philosophy.
I was, I liked, obviously the result of the outdoor game was good, but Jesus Christ, that stupid fucking Vertigo camera they had.
Oh, God. Yeah,
what the fuck?
That's terrible. Yeah, they just got a wobbly camera out there on the wire. Did they just use the football camera? The one that they probably used for football games?
I think so,
and
yeah.
They just use the same system?
I assume so, yeah. It just kind of followed the play around, but it'd be constantly turning and changing angles.
I think it kind of sucks for football too, but they just usually straight line it for football, it seems like. Or it sits in one spot and rotates. You know what I mean? Well, it doesn't seem like they're as spastic with it.
Well, with football, it's you got one static play and then it ends.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
so you could just cherry pick the best camera angles that capture what you wanted, and sometimes that one works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
For a kick return, obviously it just goes behind the guy with the ball and it follows him around.
Exactly, yeah.
For hockey, you have these constant plays changing, and then this thing's zooming in and out and spinning around and making I wouldn't be surprised if someone who's more casual fan has no no idea what's going on.
That's what they're trying to do, though. They're trying to reach the casual fan by showing them a better angle. Oh, you can see the game better this way. And the casual fan's like, I feel sick. I don't know what this is.
Like, I have no idea what's going on.
Let's
and I'm
watch NASCAR instead.
Yeah, like, think about how much hockey we watch, and it's like, what the hell's going on? Like, it kind of would be fine if it just, like, was only used for power plays, because then you're just kind of, like, in one zone. Like, you just watch it from, like, one end, and then it just, like, kind of, if it just went side to side or something, like... It didn't have as much to do, essentially.
I mean, they kind of do that with, like, the end zone cameras for power plays stuff in regular ice rinks at this point.
Right,
those are stationary. They rotate. But, I mean, yeah, that's the better idea. You don't want this, like, three-dimensional camera spinning around in circles.
And being, like, the main camera to follow the game. Like, holy man, this is so dumb.
That's definitely, like, a replay application, not a live. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good job, NHL. Once again, fantastic decision making.
Yeah. And then, man,
F for production once again.
And how about Pierre's amazing questions?
I didn't listen to them. I just didn't.
So, Mike Sullivan. How big of a factor is the wind? Well, Pierre, it's not a factor. Okay, that ends that. Hey, Sid, how about that wind? No. Well, just think about, like, okay.
I don't know.
Like, skating against the wind, like, obviously it's not going to affect you. Like, this rink is, like, surrounded by glass and, like...
It was almost like they're like, oh, this is the, like, memory point we have for this game. Like, this is what people remember is, oh, it's so windy. Because they need something, like, interesting to talk about that makes the game unique.
Yeah, I know.
They've done so many outdoor games now that it's just like, okay, big deal. They're outdoor. Like, who even cares? They've already played a game at that stadium before, too, right? So they played at the same fucking stadium now twice for these stupid-ass outdoor games that they have to just keep shoving down our throats.
Yeah.
And then, because now they're so fucking boring and no one cares anymore, they're just like, oh, okay, another outdoor game. I guess, who cares? Then they're just like, go, but it's windy. Like, that's... Like, check out the wind. That's something you don't always see, so stay tuned to see what happens with the wind. Like, see, Sid, what's up with the wind? I'm just thinking about other stuff going on in the game. Okay, well, Sid, does the wind affect those other things? Just get out of my face, Pierre. Just shut the fuck up and go away. Go polish your head or whatever you gotta do. I don't care. Just shut the fuck up.
You can tell the players just get annoyed by his stupid questions in normal games, and then he's just asking, like, even dumber questions in this one somehow. Like, he just always manages to top himself.
He does it in, like, a detached way where it's like he's not even, like, really part of the conversation. He's just, like, trying to get them to respond a certain way. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, he's, like, talking to not a real person.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm using you, like, to get something I want.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, accomplish my goal of you saying something funny by saying something funny.
Yeah, or just, like, even, like, controversial or, like, a selling point, like, you know, like, we could talk about this in the media
How's the Crosby-Ovechkin rivalry going, Sid? Like, don't care, really?
Yeah, like, he's a good player, I'm a good player. Sometimes I win, sometimes he wins.
Yeah. Holy shit, we could probably go all night about how much the NHL sucks at production and marketing.
Well, no, so I think, like, you know, these outdoor games are, like, I don't hate them or anything. Like, and I think, like, it is kind of like a good money-making generator for the NHL. Yeah. Like, I don't really like attending them, but, like, okay, fine, have them. But just, like, show the game in a normal way so I can actually, like, watch the damn game.
Right, they want to make everything a spectacle where, I mean, there's so many of them on the NHL level that it's not a spectacle on the NHL level. Like, it's a local thing, if anything. You know what I mean? Treat it like a local thing, make it big there, bring out fans and all that shit. But, I mean, trying to get every NHL fan interested in every outdoor game that's going on isn't going to happen. I mean, I hope that they're looking at it that way a little bit, but I mean, the fanfare that they do with the national TV broadcasts is just like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
With like the penguins out there with the iceberg, like, oh my god, so dumb. Who likes that stupid shit? Nobody. Only idiots.
Shifty eyes.
Yeah, well, we don't need to talk about that though.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We could go back to the trade stuff. Obviously, we traded for Mark Streit. We gave up like a 4th round 2018 pick. Nothing too spectacular.
Yeah, his responsibilities for the Islanders have just dropped completely.
Yeah, and then so he was with the Flyers. Then, like, to make this trade happen, they traded him to Tampa, who traded him to us, and now the Flyers are paying for a contract on our books.
Oh, we're not paying for the contract?
We're paying like 45 point something %, and they're paying like 4%, and Tampa's paying like 50.
Even better.
But it was kind of funny that the trade had to like go through Tampa to make it like happen for us. Like,
yeah,
clearly,
that's weird. But yeah, I don't know exactly about Streit. I didn't follow him much when he's in Philadelphia. I don't know what kind of ice time he had been logging there. I could try to look that up.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to just be another third pairing guy. I feel like we got a ton of those. And
yeah, I should watch him and see how his defensive game is. Because for the Islanders, he was their power play guy for so long.
Right, yeah.
Just every time you knew he was that guy.
Right.
And then, I don't know, who was there? They had Hamonic came in to the Islanders, right? I think...
Yeah.
He was doing a little bit of it. Who else did they have?
Well, I mean, now, obviously, they got Letty and who's the Boychuk.
Yeah. I feel like there was one other guy. Whatever.
Right, yeah.
Then straight to Philadelphia. And I think he did a little power play stuff there, but Gostisbehere is definitely that guy now. I know he took over that last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's him, and then I think, Provorov might be doing some of that this year. I don't know.
Who? Provolone?
Yeah, some Flyer.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the store and buy some cheese.
Hopefully he doesn't get any mint ice cream.
Okay, I'm back. I didn't actually go anywhere.
Yeah, so
Psych.
I'm just looking at Mark Streit's chart right now. Like, basically, in terms of generating offense and shots, like, he does that pretty well. He concedes a lot of shots, so he's kind of like basically all of our defensemen, other than like Letang and Dumoulin.
Cool, welcome to the club.
Yeah, exactly.
He's left-handed too.
And yeah, I don't know. I think like he'll hopefully just be okay in our transition system and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't see him having any issues with that. I mean, he's obviously a skilled defenseman, so I mean,
yeah,
he's not going to be worse than whoever we have filling in that spot at this point.
Right. Well, that's the weird thing too. Is like, okay, when everybody's healthy, like somebody's going to be the odd man out.
Yeah, and
it's probably, I'm kind of wondering like who that's going to be. I think Daly is almost certainly going to be the odd man out at this point.
He might be.
But then, so you basically have like Letang, Dumoulin, Cole, and Schultz, obviously. And then you got like some combination of Mata, Hainsey, and Streit. Personally, I think Mata, when he hasn't played with Daly this year, has been fine. Like if you look up, his like with and without Daly, it's actually pretty good without him. And just watching the games where he didn't have Daly with him, it looked like, he was actually able to push the play forward, even when he was like in top pairing minutes with Letang and whatnot, like, or like with Ruedel, he actually looked pretty good. So,
well, if you say so.
But yeah,
I still think he looks like he's 8 years old.
Well, yeah, he has a baby face.
How good could he be?
Yeah, no, he's still a baby face. That's for sure.
Good logic. In case you don't understand,
oh man,
trust me.
So,
Believe me.
oh man, yeah. Did you see that Jon Stewart thing with? Yeah. Okay. Believe me.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah. Look it up if you don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, don't even look it up. Remember, that's a rule.
Yeah, don't fact check
Don't look up
anything we
anything
say.
we talk about. We're full of shit and proud of it. Plenty more shit coming at you. Wow! And plenty more sound effects, too.
Hell yeah, man.
Okay, not plenty more. I think I'll stop there.
Yeah, I think we're good.
What else we're going to talk about? Did we talk about Flurry and all that stuff? Kinda. So...
Yeah, there's a lot to consider there.
I don't know. Okay, so... We didn't trade Marc-Andre Fleury. He has a no-movement clause, so we can't move him. And with the new Las Vegas Golden Knights coming into the league with the expansion draft, they have to pick one player from each team, and teams can only protect one goalie. So, seems like the Penguins have one of the three goalies that they're able to choose, presumably, based on the way the league is set up, right? Based on the goalies that are out there, that's pretty much the assumption, is that one of the Penguins goalies is going to get chosen to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, it seems likely. Just the best available options out there. Like, yeah.
Okay, Kris is a little scared. I'll say, it's for sure, 100% guaranteed. One of them is going to Las Vegas. There, see? I'm not scared.
Remember our rule.
Yeah. Don't. Whatever. So, one of them is going. At this point, you can protect one goalie. So
if a goalie has a no movement clause,
if anybody has a no movement clause,
anybody, yeah,
you have to protect them.
Exactly.
Okay,
It's
I got
just
that
like,
out.
yeah, so it's so basically it's just like a hard rule. If somebody on your team has a no movement clause, so obviously like Sid and Gino, like we were gonna keep them anyway, clearly, but like they have no movement clauses and we can't like do anything with that.
But sometimes you give no movement clause to a player like Flurry, and then bad things happen.
Yeah.
So Fleury has a no movement clause, which means we have to protect him, which means we cannot protect any other goalies. Right. And guess what? We have another goalie who's really good. No!
Yeah, exactly.
No. For those of you who haven't been up to speed with the situation that everyone's been talking about. So, a lot of people were thinking that Fleury would waive his no movement clause and that we would trade him at the trade deadline so we can get something for him. We won't lose him for nothing, and that we could keep Murray. But they didn't trade him, obviously. We still got Fleury. So now what happens? Obviously we're stuck with both of them through the rest of the season. When the expansion draft rolls around, does Fleury waive his no movement clause? Can he? I think he can.
Yeah, he could definitely.
I haven't read anything that says that he can't waive that and then that we could protect Murray instead.
No, he can waive it. That seems to be a common thought amongst like fans and whatnot.
So, if he waives it before the draft, that gives us the option to protect a different goalie because we're not forced to protect Fleury then. So then we protect Murray, that leaves Fleury open. But if Fleury doesn't want to waive his no movement clause, which I don't know, it seems not likely. He doesn't seem like that kind of person, right?
No, so the only thing with that is, so obviously you don't want Sid and Gino aren't going to waive it, and you're going to keep them anyway, so it doesn't really matter in that case. Getting guys to waive the no movement clause in the first place, that's the whole point of the no movement clause, is they don't want to be moved anywhere, essentially. Sure. So, that's another thing is, maybe Fleury just doesn't want to go to Vegas and, move there and, relocate his family there, you know what I mean? Now, granted, like I said, that's probably never going to happen. I could just see why from his perspective. There's a couple reasons, like that being one, mostly the Vegas thing, like him being picked up by some random team.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So there's just like reasons why he might not waive his no movement clause, basically.
Oh, sure.
Right.
And that would force the Penguins to keep him.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just, like a complication of this whole no movement clause.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could. But like I said at the beginning of the topic, I don't. Does he seem like that kind of guy? I don't know.
No, well, so the thing is, he wants to like start somewhere, right? Like
That's
clearly,
true.
he wants to like
he's the number one goalie in his mind. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, and he wants to get that next like 2-3 year contract at the very least, right? Yeah. So he wants to keep playing in the NHL. He thinks he's a starting goalie. And as like recent as last year and the year before, he was like, like above average, I would say.
Sure.
So yeah, like obviously he wants to start somewhere. He wants to continue his career. He wants to keep making millions while he still can. So I think that. So that was another thing with this whole saga. It was kind of like this thing where Jim Rutherford said, "Oh, well, we're going to wait till Fleury tells us what he wants to do because we don't want to, like, upset anybody." Yeah. And so he basically just kind of threw the ball into Fleury's court and, like, probably made it look to the fan base and stuff that, "Oh, I'm Jim Rutherford. I'm Grandpa Jim. I'm not the bad guy."
Right.
Which, in reality, it's like, okay, it's a business. Like, just do what you need to do.
Well, yeah, in that sense, it is in his court. I mean, it is, Fleury is in control of the situation.
That's true.
He's the one that can say whether they can move him or not.
No, but so what happened was Fleury just kind of threw the ball back in his court. He's just like, "Well, I would," and Fleury, he basically just said like, "Well, yeah, I'd be happy to discuss it with him. We haven't really done that yet."
Right. Yeah.
So this is like a day before the deadline.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was just interesting how that whole thing played out.
It is interesting, and we still don't know what's going to happen. But guess what? We're going to find out, because next week on the podcast, we have Marc-Andre Fleury here as a guest, and we're going to ask him what he's thinking.
Yeah, I'll just do my best Fleury voice, and hopefully
okay,
people believe it.
Sorry. We don't really have him coming in for an interview. That was a lie.
So,
but you got excited, didn't you?
Don't shut the podcast off.
Maybe someday we'll get him here. Maybe he'll come play for the Wild, man.
I was listening to the one podcast that got Tyler Kennedy on it, actually.
What the hell happened to that dude?
He's just retired and enjoying it.
Okay, well, cool, whatever.
Yeah. Well, so the ultimate, obviously, hopefully we can trade Fleury for something, right? Like mostly, the best way I see this ending is
we just trade him.
Yeah, no, the best way I see this ending is we trade him. We get minimal. You can trade him after the season ends and before the expansion draft. They think there's probably a 7-day window in there where you could do it. Most likely.
Are you sure?
That's just speculation, but yeah, probably. Okay. I mean, I think there's going to be a time window in there. The expansion draft is
a pretty big variable in the whole situation.
Right. No, exactly. So the expansion draft is slated to happen in June, essentially. And obviously the season ends, sometime in June.
Yeah,
so
usually.
There should be some window in there where, yes, you could possibly trade him.
Well, shit. Twist.
So, yeah. No, but I mean, so obviously, the fact that we weren't able to trade him to me just shows that, just looking at his contract and what, his skill level is right now, obviously GMs don't think this is, a great contract that they want to trade for.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's really, I don't know, he's more valuable for the Penguins than anybody else, really. I mean, he's established here. He's a solid, second starting goalie, basically.
Yeah.
And we already have him. We don't have to give up anything for him right now. So,
Yeah, well, that was another thing too. Was Rutherford always maintained that he's probably going to keep both goalies till the end of the year, just so in case Murray gets
win
hurt.
Another cup, man.
Yeah,
make sure.
Exactly. Well, like you remember last year, Murray got hurt in that Flyers game, and then I think Fleury is already hurt, so we had to play like Zach off the first two games against the Rangers.
That's good stuff.
Just bizarre, but yeah.
And then Bo Bennett came on the ice for the Stanley Cup handshake. Do you remember that? That was so awesome, dude. He earned it.
Oh my god! I think we talked about that last time.
Get
it was
the
just
hell out of here.
Oh man, I just wish Plotnikov was still on the team.
Oh yeah, I barely remember him even.
I know,
Just
right?
falling all around, all over the ice.
No, it was
his
funny
butt.
just seeing all the like random like Alexis of the world just holding the cup up, and yeah.
So weird.
Yep.
All right, so where else are we at here? Yeah, Malkin's the one to blame on that second goal by Panik, that dangle.
Oh
Malkin
yeah.
was just standing in the middle of the slot.
Yeah, no, I
And the
thought
dude just went
like
right around him.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
Gino, you kind of need to move your feet a little bit and make
That
it
was
look
bad.
like you at
I mean,
least tried.
He's big. He's
Yeah.
so big. How can anyone get around him? Just
No,
like
I know.
stick out your elbow a little bit and make the guy like go around you at least instead of just dangle and then just snipe.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You got to give some credit to Panic though, just for
No, it was a nice play for sure.
yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
But yeah,
it was made much easier for him by the lack of defensive effort.
no,
by
I
Gino.
agree. It wasn't his best defensive
Oh
effort.
well, whatever. He's won a Conn Smythe, so
Yeah, and I'd
how
say
mad
he's,
can you get at the guy?
yeah, I'd say he's probably a top
was-
100 player too.
One regular season goal against BFD.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we'll all survive.
No, I thought we played pretty damn good considering like how depleted our defensemen are. And we're obviously still missing Sheary and Rust. Those are key contributors. Nightly players.
Been excellently replaced by Gensel and Kunitz. Kunitz doesn't have the speed, which I think hurts a little more. Well, it hurts all the way up and down the ice, really, his lack of speed. But Kunitz is great at little puck battle stuff and just possession and finding Crosby and just making smart plays with the puck and understanding space on the ice. He's great at things like that, which is exactly what you need when you start losing your speed. You need to have that mental aspect of the game to where
Absolutely.
you can outthink the other players. And he's great at that. He wins these little puck battles with his good stick work and just understands ways to take up space and make space for Crosby when he's out there. And, I mean, can't ask for a better substitute.
Yeah,
Really.
I absolutely agree. I think between him and Gensel, both are like good passers, and like you said, they're doing all the like smart little things. But I think like that passing ability, just being able to get him the puck consistently, rather than like, and just like you said, getting the puck into the zone with control, like is one thing Gensel does really well. I think Kunitz like can just kind of
Kunitz is more of a dumper usually.
sure.
I mean, but yeah, he still knows just give it to Crosby.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
That's kind of just the number one rule when you're playing with him. I mean, if you're both covered, just give it to him. He's going to do something better than you will with it.
Oh, yeah.
99% of the time.
Yeah.
He's got better ideas in his head, so give it to him.
That, and he'll just like blow past the entire team with his speed.
Right. Well, and if he doesn't, he'll find the guy that's open that you didn't notice.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
just better than everyone else, so give him the puck. That's what you do.
Right. He'll try to
Period.
split the two defenders, and if he can't, he'll just like do the little back pass, and somebody will have a wide open like nice
yeah,
shot.
and if he gives it up, he'll go get it back.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No. It's.
In other words, Crosby's good.
Yeah, I just can't say enough about his overall game. It's just like
Ridiculous.
if you had like Bergeron with like almost McDavid's speed and like
Crosby's-
just elite shooting ability.
Crosby's basically the perfect hockey player. I mean,
Yeah.
The only thing that he doesn't have, I guess, traditionally that you would say is like the fighting. that like Gordie Howe is known for.
Oh,
The triple threat. You can shoot, pass, and fight.
Yeah, the Gordie
great
Howe
hockey
hat
player.
trick.
And actually, well, really, Crosby's not a bad fighter. He's scrapped a little bit, and people talk shit about his fighting. But I mean,
yeah, I mean, do we really need him to like?
he's more of a wrestler than a puncher, in that sense. So
Yeah,
he doesn't get the fighting.
He'll stand
scores.
up for himself and teammates. Like it's not like anything
Yeah, and in
like
that sense, that's like your quintessential hockey player is a guy who doesn't put up with shit and fights back.
Yeah, like that's what you want out of a captain.
Doesn't necessarily need to be a guy that punches another dude's helmet 10 times a game.
Or gets punched in the head 10 times
Oh,
a
yeah.
game.
You punch his helmet, he punches yours, and then you both go to the penalty box holding your hand. Ow!
Pretty much. But anyway, I like what Kunitz and Gensel provide on that line because they're just good at making controlled plays with the puck and getting it to Sid, whereas I feel like sometimes someone like Hornqvist can just be such a black hole in that he just kind of goes straight to the net. He doesn't. He can only dump it. Like he's not
like
a good,
he relies
like,
on
stick handler.
habits too much.
Yeah,
you want players that are constantly reading the play and reacting to the play, not just relying on habits like dump it or here. Now I'm just gonna like power move to the net and then slam into the goalie and then there's a whistle so nothing happens
and then start a fight with the goalie.
I mean, so yeah, you want guys that are constantly analyzing the play on the fly, making smart decisions, not just going through the motions. Well,
absolutely
mentally going through the motions. You can still be working hard, but still not making the best choices.
Yeah, I agree. And I think with him, it's just beeline to the net every time rather than hey, now I need to puck support and hey, I need to find this space so I can make, the other guys think of it a little more like a chess game, where they're kind of trying to set up a few things ahead of time and then boom, they get the pass they want.
Exactly. You're reading the different options that the other team has and taking away as many different ones as you can, but at the same time seeing what your teammates are doing and understanding together what you're trying to accomplish. And you can find those things by looking at where each other is on the ice and what direction you're moving, and on the fly understand which options are being filled up. And you have to, there's just so much prediction going on. That's really what it is you have to see things happen in advance and weigh out the pros and cons of each choice you have to make. And some guys just don't see as many other options.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Good players.
No, it was interesting too. For a few shifts anyway, it seemed like they put Cullen and Kessel on Crosby's line, and I thought they were doing pretty well too in terms of generating chances. Cullen had that one where Darling made that ridiculous glove save right out front, where they just kept passing it around. The defense was totally on their heels, and then finally, I don't know if it was Crosby or Kessel just threaded that pass right to Cullen in the slot. Perfect scoring opportunity, and Darling I thought that was the thing about that game that I thought we outchanced them.
We had a lot of really strong chances that got stopped. For sure.
The expected goals for that game were 3.5 to 2.7 in our favor.
Oh my God! Shut up with your stupid numbers. I'm gonna kill myself.
I felt like
only one decimal place, Kris. Come on, man. How are we supposed to really know what's going on?
Well, it's 2.67.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. See, that proves it. Proves what? Who the hell knows? Numbers.
The other thing too is I thought Flurry made some good saves. The floppy fish sequence he had.
Oh
there.
My God, that was so funny.
God.
I'm not even going to try to describe that one verbally. You just have to see it. What was that, in the second period?
Yeah, you just had this sequence where he flopped on his side and then couldn't get up, and so he just kind of stayed there, and then the puck hit him.
It was great. Classic Flurry.
Yeah.
And we get to see it the rest of the season, too. And you get to see it next week on the podcast when Marc-Andre Fleury comes to town for an interview. Exclusive interview. Penn's Prognosis. Next week at I don't know. You'll figure it out later. Check it out, bros.
So as far as that, no fact checking. Also, don't remember that we said things.
Next week at the Metrodome, Monster Truck Rally.
Oh my god.
I'm really disappointed I never got to see a Monster Truck show at the Metrodome. I feel like that would have been so trashy and awesome. And I would drink Budweiser and spill it on myself.
I think they have it at the new US Bank Stadium or something.
Nah, it's not the same. It's the Metrodome, dude. Come on.
Well, yeah, no, I
it's like
agree.
this big shitty bubble.
Oh my, yeah, it was. And then it just collapsed that one day.
Yeah, it's all good. No big deal. That happens. That happens with Metrodomes.
I saw in Snapchat.
It happens with all of the Metrodomes there are.
I just look at Snapchat the one day my buddy's at a monster truck thing. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh god.
Yeah, and then it kind of fits in with.
Could be fun, like a wrestling. If you went to see wrestling, you just have to lower your standards. Just lower your standards for one night. Just become stupid.
Yeah, basically.
Just let down your guard. Just let your inner caveman out. Monster truck! All right. I don't know. I think we should probably just try to wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
We covered trade stuff. We covered all our defense and how Kris has an issue with all them being left-handed or whatever. Big deal. Who cares? We covered Flurry and that whole situation. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty good, right? What else you got, Kris?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I don't know.
No, it better not be a whole lot.
I don't know. I just you just gotta wait till this team gets healthy. Even when they're healthy, I don't think they're as dominant as they were last year. I think last year we just had the right combination of all the right things happening at once. Letang having this career year and Bonino and Hagelin having career years.
I think Schultz is better this year though.
Daly having a career year.
Schultz has turned it on. He's having a career year. So there you go. You need guys having career years. Try all of our younger players who are stepping in now.
Yeah, I like Schultz.
I think our forwards are better than last year. I mean, really, so many of these guys, these younger guys, Gensel, Rowney's looking good, Rust, Sheary, obviously. I mean, even Kuhnhackl he's becoming more and more solid on the penalty kill. I mean, he's creating chances out there. Scott Wilson's been good, pretty much wherever he's played. Just another solid, quick player who doesn't fuck shit up.
Yeah. Bonino's the main concern I have as far as you just need somebody to drive that third line, whether it's him or Rowney or somebody. I don't know. But I don't know. He just looks so mediocre all year. It's just a lesser. Yeah. He's not Brandon Sutter levels of ineptitude, but he's
he's not special. That's true. I mean,
yeah.
Does everyone have to be special, Kris?
No, I just think that's what elevates you to winning a cup.
Is that what you learned in school? Everybody's special. Not everybody's special. You suck.
Yeah, no,
and that's the lesson for today, boys and girls.
It's a lot of people I like to tell that to.
Yeah. Well, you can do it now. We're broadcasting worldwide.
Yeah.
And next week at the Metrodome Monster Truck Rally.
If you go, you're really special.
For those of you who are looking for tickets now, the Metrodome isn't there anymore, and I made the whole thing up. All right. Kris, anything else?
Nah, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. I don't know how long we've been talking. Probably, I think 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah, I think
made you look at your clock. It wasn't that long. Probably more like an hour. Okay. I guess that's it. How are we supposed to end a podcast? I think I just usually say, that's it. It's over. That's it. It's over.
Sucks to be you, nerd.
Wait, it's still going on, though. Okay. Open sesame. Wait, that doesn't make sense. How do we stop?
I don't
Pause.
know, but we're all out of mint
No.
ice cream, so I don't know how much longer we can keep it up.
I got more at home, so I'll just go refuel and then run back here on the highway. and then
Then you'll get your damn 3 to 4 hour
and
podcast.
then pass out with green stains all over my mouth.
Oh man, it's just like bath salts for Kevin.
I'm eating myself.
No, just eat the ice cream.
Okay, I think we better just stop talking because we're idiots, and the more we talk, the worse it gets. All right, peace out, Kris.
Peace out, Kevin.
Peace out. Okay.